I am Jean Grae, also known as Beelzebub in certain parts of the world. It's interesting because I think there's a lot of interviews that I watch with people, and they can always pick out like the point that they were like, I want to do this. This is what I want to do. I want to be involved in hip hop, and it was definitely not that for me. Like I can't remember the first experience or the first rap song I heard. I definitely wanted to make beats, and I wanted to do production side of things. I'd always enjoyed writing, but I wanted to be a DJ and a producer, and that felt the most natural to me. Like I was handing out, beat tapes to people, and writing kind of behind the scenes and not really telling anyone that I was writing. And I guess that was it. I wanted to be a part of the music just in general, more so than anything. And the decision to rap was an accident, almost purely by accident. I was writing a lot, and I would write to stuff, and I would write to my own beats, but I never really told anyone that I was doing that. And I told like a couple of my best friends, and they were like, "It's really good. You should maybe say this in front of people. Try that." I was like, I don't know. And the first project I did, I had a group with this other dude, Rhythm, and we formed a group called Ground Zero. And I was like, all right, I'll try it. I guess I'll see how I feel about the rapping. And we got the unsigned hype in the source. And but like the time that came out, we had already broken up as a group. But I was like, oh, I guess, all right, I could try this, and just kind of kept going from there. And I think once I start something in general, I'm like, I'll see what happens. You guys enjoy it? Cool. And I haven't decided if I want to be a rapper yet. I'm still. It's really weird for me to distinguish between like a hip hop memory and anything else, because everything has always just been music, just a lot of music, and it's being around my parents and traveling. So it's hard for me to categorize things. It seemed really organic and really natural to just be doing that anyway. Music-wise, I think it was my fourth grade teacher, Lucy, and she went to the garbage. She saw a record in the garbage during lunch and came back in, and there was this record called Your Mama, and she played it for the whole class, and I thought it was absolutely hilarious. Like I had heard rap, but I think it was the first thing that like made me laugh, and it was fun, and I was watching people who were my age in a setting, and we were enjoying it, and I started kind of writing little funny raps at that point. So I think she might not know how big of a deal bringing that record in was, but it meant something to me. All of my inspiration is just purely experience, and I think I've over the past year tried to be like, I need to stop just going into especially relationship experiences to have material to write. And I think when you do that, it can be an amazing thing because it's so honest and vulnerable, but it becomes a dangerous thing. When I take breaks, from making an album, there's a couple of years in between. It's not necessarily because I just don't want to write anything or put anything out. I'm like, I need to go do some more stuff because I need to have things to write about. I need to go live life so I can, evolve as an artist. Otherwise, it's going to be the same thing over and over again. And if you're not evolving, then, stop making music. Just trying to be more responsible about exactly where I get my inspiration from and representing it correctly, I think has happened in my adult career. That now sounds like it's like sexy movies now. I don't think that either of my parents expected me to do anything outside of the arts. I think they would have freaked out more if I had, and they always pushed, that, academics is important and do well in school. But when I was in my last year in high school, and they were like, no, we understand you finish your classes, but you have to come back in summer school because you can't just be in this school and have like 2 classes. It's not. I was like, well, spades, I consider spades classes, so you could just let me be here. And they were like, and I was like, well, I'll just leave then. And they're like, well, call your mom. I was like, you should probably do that. And she came and she was like, yeah, I just want to take her out. Let's go. We're done here. They were really supportive. You know, my mom came to a lot of shows, and I think it was me more so getting over like freaking out about cursing in front of her, and just doing something, even though it's still music, it was so different to the jazz scene. And I was like, she's gonna hate it, and she ends up loving it. And you know, she's on my new projects, and we've done stuff together. So yeah, amazingly supportive. And I think when you're a kid who has your parents really nurture your creative side, it's amazing. I really, really hate talking about female rap. I am so sick of that shit. And not that I don't support women who do hip hop, but I don't know, it just seems so condescending to separate it. And you know, like I don't care, it doesn't, the race or gender, it doesn't matter to me. And it did bother me so much that people were so concerned with it. Like, it was such a big deal. And I was like, I don't understand why you're making it such an issue. Why can't you just enjoy the music? Do you like it or do you not? Like, if you don't like me, just fucking don't like me. And don't be like, you are so good. How do you have a vagina and yet you're able to put words together? I was like, what? You know, it's like being like, oh, he's really articulate for a black guy. That's been the biggest thing, to stop being annoyed. And I think I've done, and to do enough of them, and interviews and documentaries, and be like, okay, I'll show up for this thing, to be like, okay, so I'm done doing that. We don't have to talk about it anymore, right? Because I'm going to move on and talk about other things. There's so many other things we could discuss. You could talk to me about so many things. Probably the last frontier of stuff was maybe about 5 years ago, and it was just stop fucking caring what people think. Just don't. You're not, you know, trying to fit into anyone's. You're not trying to get into the club anyway. Like, that was it. I think kind of letting go of that, and to me, I this is the example I'm giving. Like, we're walking past the club, and they're like, no, you can't come in. And you're like, I didn't even ask to come in. Oh my God. So it was kind of like, you know, just stop being concerned. If you don't even want to go there, it's fine. And, you know, instead building your own club next door and being like, no, I mean, I'm doing something over here. And I'm not telling you guys you can't come in. You can if you want to. So yeah, letting go. And it's been so much more enjoyable. I hope it's been fearlessness, and just kind of, I really represent, you know, individualism. There aren't boundaries and rules and limits, and you don't have to pay attention to any of that they set up for you. It's not there. I'm the person who doesn't, you know, I don't care about waiting in lines. You can tell me to go back to the back of the line at the end. I don't, you know, fly with ID. Just talk. Get on the plane. Go. There's a sitcom that I'm writing, directing, and editing, and in. So that's been interesting and great, and a lot more involved than I thought it was going to be. 2 albums, Gotham Down and Kick or Death, and we're also re-releasing the Genius album, the original version, which I think both Ninth and I really, really wanted to put out, but you know, we had sample issues and stuff, so we're just going to give it away for free. It's like 1 degree out here, and I'm out here for hip hop. It's not even that cold. No.